You have just witnessed a LE Studios production. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And baby, it's a wrap. Bam! Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's been a minute since I've been on Reality Check. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell because you never know when I'm going to upload a video. And you want to be in tune with that. So I'm going to put up the YouTube thing. Make sure you guys join the YouTube. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So the topic today, I got so many topics wrapped up into this one thing I got on here. The dating pool is trash. I think it's like that, you know, in the heterosexual community and also in the LGBT community. But I have a concerning question that for the longest I was trying to figure this out. Like, how can a man have all these emotions? You know, you're gay, you're considered gay, you have all these emotions, you have these feelings. When you see a man, it's like an internal thing. How do you go from being gay? And this is stuff that you done dealt with for a minute. Being gay, the emotions and, you know, the arousement of another man, and then you go and marry a woman. For a long time, I didn't know. I didn't understand that. And I was actually watching a podcast last night, and the guy that was on there, he was saying a lot of people, you know, they marry a woman to cover up. They have all these children, this woman, to cover up those internal, you know, try to fight. They try to fight those internal thoughts. They try to fight those internal feelings by doing things what would consider them as a straight heterosexual person. Now, I found a few issues with that because I ran across several men. Several. I'm not going to name nobody. I'm going to respect them in their places and spaces. But I've ran across several men that stood in the public eye as heterosexual and had conversations with them, and they was fighting internally, you know, against their flesh, because, you know, I feel as though if you was considered gay or whatever, those emotions and those feelings are not going to go away. They're not. And I know the Bible do say, you know, God gives you the freedom, the is it the willpower? I don't want to quote that, but he doesn't force you to, you know, do His will and stuff like this or whatever. He doesn't force you to. So it's by your choice if you choose to go. I understand all of that. I do. But my question is, I don't want to fight. I don't want to be put in a position to where I'm having to fight every day, because I feel like I'm gonna lose several battles. This is an internal thing, especially when you at home, and just say for instance you're trying to fight that situation. You ain't got no wife or nothing like that. You're single. You're trying to fight that flesh, baby. It comes on strong in the middle of the night when you're by yourself and at home. You hear me? Okay, now I'm gonna flip the chart on y'all. I do see how a man can go from gay to straight. Now I do. Because when it comes to the dating pool in the LGBTQ, it's trash. It's trash. it's hard to find a relationship. It's hard to find a companionship uh, between two men. I don't know if it's because, shit. I don't know if it's because it's two men and, they're a lot of times you don't have a dominant man with a dominant man. It's a feminine man with a dominant man. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but you do have two men, and in my case, I've been told that I try to wear the pants, and at that moment when I was told that, I'm like, nigga, I'm a man too. I'm a nigga. So it's like I'm not gonna allow somebody to run over me. You know, I play a role, he play a role, but I forget my role because I'm like I'm a man too. Okay, and I'm not gonna allow somebody to disrespect me. And back to my thoughts about how a man goes from gay to straight. It's because I think a lot of us is looking for love. We're looking for love. We're looking for companionship, and we find that hard to find. And over time, you will get tired. You will get, depressed, stressed out, or whatever. And some hold it out. Some just, I'm gonna just be a hoe. Some actually go to women because they really want that relationship, that flow of a relationship, and they go to these women and check this out. You go to these women or whatever, and that satisfies the world because if somebody knew you was gay before and they see you with a woman, that satisfies them. Oh, he was just going through a phase, right? Um, then you got some people that's like, oh, he's still gay. You're gonna have all of these things coming at you as well. Somebody's still judging you. Oh, he used to be gay. They're trying to break you up and stuff like this or whatever. Let your wife know that he has a past and stuff like that. You have some people that's going to be, cool with it, okay with it, because you're not gay anymore because you're with a woman. But you don't know what these people face internally, and that can be traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? Those urges that you thought left because you got with a woman or whatever are still there. You'll find it's still there, and you find some men fighting those urges, and they sneak off. They dip out on their wives, and there you go. Find yourself with a man, and you try to live this hidden secret life because you're trying to fight the urges. Me personally, I would hate to put a female in that position to where she can't trust me. I'm a faithful person when it comes to a relationship, but I know how those urges are. And I would hate to put somebody in that position. Do I believe somebody can be totally changed? I do. And it takes conviction. I've been there. I've been there. I've been to a place where God has started the point to convict me. And it caused me to look at my life and see that my wrongs, see the things that I need to change. And y'all, I looked at it because I felt like I was going in a position to where I was going to be in some type of leadership, and I knew I had to get my life together. And what I did not want is to step into that area, and I still had baggage. I still had those deep, dark thoughts. I I believe when you going into anything that has to do with leadership, God, or whatever. Me personally, I want to be in the clear, and I was headed that direction, but there was some things in my life that I wasn't just ready to give up. You see what I'm saying? So I feel sorry for those people that are fighting that internal feeling. That is a real thing. That is a real thing. Those internal emotions, baby, will eat you up because that's something that you once was used to. And like I said, some people call it the enemy, the devil, or whatever. Call it whatever. But these are things that I even face. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. God knows. He knows how to how can I say this? He knows how to heal you from that. And I believe God, he comes with a strategy. God always have a plan, a strategy, and I believe, for the most part, if change is in your view or in your life, you will soon get tired of whatever it is that you are dealing with. You get tired of going through the same thing. Get tired of looking for love. Get tired, you get tired of dealing with the same stuff in the, worldly, whatever. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Um, but yeah, I know a lot of people. I've seen men get married, and you know, my immature mind at the time, I was wondering how did you go from this to this? How are you comfortable? Because I could even look at you now and see that your demeanor, it's still a little shaky. And I know you shouldn't just judge a book by its cover, but it's just like, it makes you wonder. That was my immature mind at the time. But like I said, I do believe that people can change. I do believe that, you can transition back over into whatever it is you feel like you were supposed to be. Um, yeah, it was just concerning. Yeah, when I tell you the dating pool over here, when I say it's trash, y'all, it is. It really is. My experiences with dating guys or whatever, as you can see, I'm still here single. Um, I think for the most part, I be looking for consistency. And I gotta be careful when I say consistency because my sister told me this. A person can be consistent and not being there or being what you want, basically what I'm trying to say. They can be consistent at that, but when I say consistent, I mean being consistent in, being there, you know, um, making it into a relationship. What is a relationship? A relationship is when two people are coming together, sharing spaces. I would say sharing spaces, sharing um, new beginnings. You're loving on each other. You're caring for each other. I mean, it's the opposite of being single. Can I just say that? I don't ever want to be in a relationship and I feel like I have to question it. What am I doing? What are we doing? You know, that's not a relationship to me. Um, but yeah, am I getting off topic? Anyway, I thought that had to be said. But anyway, I'm just saying. Um, but yeah, I would just hate to be, in a position to where I'm fighting or whatever. Um, I guess you can say I'm lazy. I don't know, but I will say I'm in a position to where I just want to chill out. I do. I don't want to be stressed behind no man. I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm not trying to have no high blood pressure, heart attacks, and stuff like this or whatever. And if somebody want to come into my life, they need to bring quality. They need to bring something cherishable, something that's worth having. Um, don't think you're just gonna come over here, you know, and bring that BS. I just recently stopped talking to this person or whatever on behalf of the fact that you think it's okay to be is inconfident. You're not confident about yourself. You have those moments to where you just what is the word? I'm trying to think of a word. You have those moments to where you just don't have confidence. Basically, you just don't love yourself. And I feel like that's a trauma issue, and that's something a psychiatrist would have to deal with. That's something I'm not used to. I cannot be in the realm of that because you will make me go crazy. You will make me go crazy. Yeah, you will make me go crazy. And you and the person wasn't even relationship material. I went from December till um this month. Excuse me, y'all. And
You had the nerve within an argument to tell me that you wasn't a relationship material and you're fucked up. December to this month, 5 months. And you're just now telling me this? Trash. That's all I gotta say is trash. So yeah. I've also read into relationships with guys who are not consistent when it comes to communication. Maybe communication is the key to a relationship. First of all, I tell a man in a minute, I cannot read your mind. I'm not telepathic. I can't read your mind. I can't read what you're feeling. I can't read what you're thinking. I can't. It's impossible. Let's have a conversation. What's so hard about having a conversation? I don't get it. Love is not hard. It's not hard to love somebody. My whole idea of being with somebody is having fun. You know, you get together, you go places together, you travel together, you enjoy each other's company and all of that good stuff. You know, I'm not saying you're not gonna have no ups, no downs and ups and downs and things like that. Your ups and you have downs, whatever. I'm not saying you're not gonna have no downs. Um, but majority of the time you are spending together, you are enjoying each other. And I believe love conquers all. So whatever little spits and spats that you may have, you know, it's not going in the direction of breaking up or giving up on each other. It's not that. So I don't know. It's a lot concerns me. The older I get, I'm yet learning. I'm yet learning, and I'm getting to a place to where um, I'm being reserved. I want to be reserved. You know, I've always been an impatient person. I think that has a lot to do with, you know, with why I'm where I'm at because I be trying to. I get that feeling so fast. So you know, because you know how you can be so lonely. You're by yourself. I'm not gonna say lonely. That sounds horrible. You know how you can be without a companionship for a long time, and that's something you always dreamed about. That's something you always wanted, right? And when it comes down to it, and you feel like you done found it, it's like, baby, you are in a race for love. It's here. Let's go for it. Let's do this. That be my mindset. Not realizing that it can be camouflage. It can be a disguised love. I say camouflage. It can be a disguised love or whatever. Not real. You know, a wolf in sheep clothing. So yeah, that's me. I kind of lost my train of thought, but let me see if I can remember. Uh, but yeah, I forgot my train of thought. But anyway, I would say, yeah, that's my mindset. I find love when I feel like I found love or whatever, and I tend to rush into it or whatever. But like I said, yeah, you can see I'm single now, so I need to reserve myself. Yeah, I need to reserve myself because I keep running to these same situations that runs me right into bad luck. So yeah. But anyway, I really got out topic. I really had a whole lot to say, didn't I? I sure did. But anyway, I love you guys. This is the end of the show. I hope didn't nobody get offended, but this is just a little bit about what I've experienced or whatever. Uh, yeah. So y'all take it, leave it, run with it, leave it here, whatever you choose to do. Okay. And I'm out of here. I love you guys. Make sure you guys have a wonderful day. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And honey, I will talk to you later. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, honey. Okay? Okay, bookies. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And honey, I will get with you guys later. I'm gonna try to get on here more, by the way. So make sure you do that. All right. Your boy is out.